Hello, you are listening to the Childcare Director's Chair podcast. Your host, Erica Saccoccio, invites you to join her community of passionate and inspiring leaders in the ECE field, where she discusses, reflects, and shares the best ways to invest in our children, families, teachers, and community. Because after all, we know they are the heartbeat of any successful program.
Warm welcomes, crafting the perfect welcome package for new families. You have tuned into the Childcare Director's Chair podcast with your host, me, Erica Saccoccio. And if you listen to my episodes day after day, thank you so much. But you know, when I am talking about taking care of your people, those are my favorite episodes. And so today, it's going to be one of those. We're going to explore the art of creating a welcoming atmosphere at your childcare center. In today's episode, it's all about designing the perfect welcome package to make new families feel right at home. From personalized touches to practical essentials, we'll dive into actionable tips and creative ideas that will make your center stand out to ensure a smooth transition for both your parents and your children. So today we're going to discover how a thoughtful welcome can really set the tone for a successful school year. Not only for your families, but also your teachers, because we're talking about building lasting relationships with your families, and your team is a big part of that. So I want to share some actionable tips and ideas. I want you to think about these and wrap your head around, these are not marketing tips and strategies to build enrollment. These are really here to build relationships. When you do that, your customer retention will go through the roof. Your teacher retention will go through the roof, because when you care about people, it just feels right, and just something really magic happens. And so I want you to really think about this not as marketing gimmicks or marketing strategies, but people strategies, ways that you can really make long-lasting connections. I have used many of these ideas that I share on this podcast to grow my customer retention and staff retention for 5 to 8 years. I still have families that connect with me whose children have long outgrown my program. So if you want to make your customer base be one of retention and real true relationships, then this episode is for you. So let's start with personalized welcome letters. And today, when I talk about these things, I'm going to tell you the how, the why, and the when. So let's start with how. So you're going to draft a warm, personalized letter addressed to each family. Include a brief introduction of your center, an overview of the school year, and any important information they need to know. And please make sure you personalize each letter with the child's name and specific details relevant to their situation. Don't just send out a blank, "Dear families." That's not very warm and welcoming. Now, I know it takes a little bit more time, but it really is worth all of the effort. Again, it's those little details that make a big difference. And I'll say it every time, every day, until it sinks in. Personalized letters help establish a personal connection and show that you value each family's uniqueness. It also helps families recognize and feel recognized and appreciated, which sets a positive tone for their experience at your center. Now the when. Send the letters out 1 to 2 weeks before the start of the school year, giving families ample time to read and prepare. Don't send it out the night before. So I'm getting ready to do this at my child care center. We start our school year in about 2 weeks. And so this is something that was at the top of my mind. So I'm working on this myself. And if your school year has already started, that's okay. You can go back. I mean, you can't be too far into the year. Maybe you started last week. Another thing that I think is really important is customizing family welcome kits. Assemble kits that will include a calendar of events, a directory of important contacts, including your teachers and administrative staff, a guide to the center's policies, and add branded items such as water bottles or tote bags, or, include something small, friendly family treats, little stickers, a small toy, just something that helps say, you're part of our bigger group. If you have uniforms, that have your logo on it, you're already doing that. But maybe the little tote bag or a little backpack that the child brings back and forth to school that shows like, hey, I belong here. Why it's so important is Welcome Kits provide practical information and also create a sense of excitement and belonging. They also offer families essential resources that help them navigate the first few weeks and integrate smoothly into your center's community. And that's so important, especially if you have families that are with you for a long time and then a new family comes in. Sometimes it's hard to be the new guy on the block. So you want to make sure that all parents are going into the school year equal with all of the same information. When should you distribute? Well, distribute these kits during orientation sessions or the first day of school, so families receive them when they are most excited and eager to get started. So that's the best way to make that impact. So let's talk about orientation and meet and greet events, which I know I've talked about on a couple episodes in the last week or so, because I really wanted to bring you as much content about getting your school year off to a great start. And so it just made sense to do some of these sessions that are, back to back that give you a little more detail on each of these areas. So orientation and meet and greet events, let's talk about that. So how? Well, you have to plan and organize an orientation event where families can tour the facility, meet teachers and learn about the center's routines, set up interactive stations where families can engage in fun activities and ask questions. And if you're not 100% sure how to do that, you can take a look at last week's episodes. We have a couple that are specifically just on that topic. Now, why? Well, these events help families become familiar with the center's environment and staff. It also helps ease anxieties and build trust. Now, let me tell you, as a parent, my child is 25 years old, almost 26. I can't even believe how quick it goes. But I was one of those parents so anxious that I quit my job selling furniture and went to go work in a childcare center. I know how hard it is, and that has never left me. It's hard. Parents have anxiety, even if they know you, right? I have families that have been with me for 3-4 years, and now their children have moved over to our school age building, and now they're anxious. This is their first time that their child's getting on a daycare van, that they're getting transported to and from, right? So that's a new level of anxiety. You have to build trust, and you have to do it right away. It also allows parents to connect with each other and create a supportive network, especially if you're the new guy on the block. Maybe you just moved here from California and you don't know a lot of people. What a great way to not only set the child up for success, but also the parent. Now, when? Schedule these events a week or two before the official start of the school year to give families time to meet and greet and get acclimated. So again, if your school year has already started, no worries. Just try to put together something as soon as possible to help make parents make parents feel welcome and help them, get comfortable with each other. And maybe you just do a fun family night. It could be something as simple as that. We have our ice cream social coming up next week, and many of our new families have started to trickle in. Some families are shutting next week and some the week after. So even though we're still in our quote unquote summer camp period of time, the ice cream social is a great way to introduce new families to our existing families. Now, I think our teachers are really great at doing this, but another tip that I would say is create a welcome board and a photo display. That's the how. Create a welcome board in the center's lobby featuring a special note or photo of new families. Include a photo display with images of the staff in the classroom to help families get familiar with who these people are. Faces and names together really do help. So it will help your families recognize key people and key areas at your center. Why it's important? Well, a welcome board makes new families feel acknowledged and valued. It also helps children and parents identify their new environment, making the transition less intimidating. Now, I just want to go back because I love to spread these little retention nuggets all through my podcast. Don't forget to say thank you to families who may have children who are aging out of your program. Yes, of course, you want to welcome the new families, and today's episode is all about doing that. But never, ever forget the folks who have helped you and supported your business for the last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever it is. So not only a welcome board, but a good luck and thank you board for your families that are aging out of your program or are moving to a different area or a different location. So don't forget to do that. And the when, update the welcome board and photo display a few days before the start of the school year to ensure that it's fresh and vibrant when families arrive. So that would be one way that I would do that. And your teachers may also have some really great ideas. So here's where I'm also going to spread that little nugget of let your team feel like they are part of the bigger picture. So ask your staff, maybe you plant the seed of the welcome board and then you let them run with it. See who comes up with the most creative idea. See who has the coolest welcome board. There's 1,000 ways to do it. The point is, do it. Just be intentional and make sure your team gets a piece of the pie. Tip number 5, we're going to say, resource guides for parents. Develop a comprehensive guide that includes information about local services, parent support groups, and tips for smooth transition. Include a section with frequently asked questions and answers to address common concerns. Now, I'm just going to stop there for a minute. If you haven't done that and you're like complaining why people keep asking the same questions over and over, it's because you haven't set your families up for success. So put your frequently asked questions and answers in that guidebook so people can look at them. And you also will save time from answering the same questions over and over, or that you have teachers who answer that question in a different way, and then you have confusion. So let's avoid that. You can do that as simply as making a resource guide for your parents. And make sure you don't forget to put your logo on it so they know where it comes from. Especially if you have school-age students. The first week or two of school, they're going to be getting information from their child's elementary school and from the childcare center. So make sure that you set your stuff apart so they know that it comes from you. Now, the why. Resource guides provide valuable information and support. It helps your parents navigate the early days at your childcare center with confidence. And it also shows that you're proactive in addressing their needs. I can't tell you how much I believe in being proactive. Not only in the times where Johnny's mom's going to be upset about this. Let me get her on the phone before she calls me. But being proactive when you're just setting up your systems, setting up how you do business. Think about, especially if you've been in business a long time, you know what the typical things that are going to happen at the beginning of the school year. You already know because you've done this and you're a professional like I am. So be proactive. Make a list of the 10 things that you can think of the top of your head that happen every school year that drive you crazy or drive your teachers crazy or tend to be something that causes some kind of conflict for a family that's coming in. And be proactive. Include it in your parent resource guide. And the when, provide the guide and the welcome kit or distribute it at orientation, ensuring that families have it and that they start their journey at your center on a positive note. I also would say you could even put this resource guide on your website so that you can refer people back to it, or if they lose that tangible copy, that they have it on your website. You can also import it in your portal so that parents can go back and look at that, because at this point, just about 99.9% of centers use some type of family communication app. And if you don't, well, you should. So that will bring me to number 6 as we start to wrap up. Follow-up communication. How? Schedule follow-up calls or emails to check in with families after their child has started at the center. Use this communication to address any questions or concerns and gather their feedback on their experience. Why do you want to do that? Maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe I don't really want to know what they have to say because I already know I messed up. Well, that's okay. Be accountable, because when you do mess up and you take accountability for that, wow, the amount of respect that you get, or just being transparent, say, we missed XYZ in that parent guide. We're so sorry. Here's the information you need. So follow-up communication shows ongoing support and commitment to your families. And it helps build stronger relationships and address any issues really early. It also provides an opportunity for continuous, improved feedback based on what your families are saying. When should you do this? Well, you want to reach out at least 2 to 4 weeks after the start of the school year to allow families some time to settle in and adjust before seeking their feedback. I would say you could also send out something on the first day of school as well. Just say, hey, first day, here are the kinks we noticed. Here's what we're doing to fix it. Or, hey, so far it seems like everything is going great. Let us know, did we miss a step? Did we miss a beat? I think when you ask questions, and parents love to be engaged. I can't tell you how many parents are like, oh my God, thank you for asking. I had a great idea, but I didn't want to bring it up, right? So, again, talk with your families. You want to be the best that you can be for them, for your children and for your teachers. So make sure you let everybody have a seat at the table. So as we wrap up, I want to just leave you with this. Creating a welcoming environment through thoughtful packages and communication, it sets the stage for positive and supportive experience. It's going to make your families feel at home from the beginning. You foster relationships, you improve parent satisfaction, and you build a more connected community. This not only enhances your overall atmosphere at your center, but it also contributes to a higher retention and stronger reputation. So that's it for today's episode. If you're ready to elevate and welcome your parents on a new level, continue to subscribe to the Childcare Director's Chair podcast. We promise to keep bringing you more tips, insights, and strategies daily that you can implement tomorrow in your center. So with that, we're going to wrap it up. Remember, it's the small things, those small details that make a big impact in the success of your childcare business.
Well, all the cute little kiddos have been picked up and it's time to go home. And that'll do it for another episode of the Childcare Director's Chair. Please leave a review so Erica knows the information is helping you to manage and improve your childcare centers. Remember to subscribe to get the latest episode from Erica's Childcare Director's Chair.